Yo, bro, I am so tight. My bets be godly. I swear, I'm only missing one out of like a 9-team parlay. I'm just donating to my local sports book. I'm so tight, man.
You gamble now? When did that start happening?
I've been gambling for like the last 3 months, just donating money, just, I'm about to just give away my house now.
So wait,
give away my cars.
Do you only use one sports book?
Yeah. I only use one.
Dude.
Why would I use more than one?
Dude, rookie mistake. The only way to really get an edge on the sports books and to really make money is you gotta have multiple accounts at different sports books.
Well, how would that help me?
Through that, you'll be able to get the best possible odds in your state for each bet. That's why I use Betstamp.
Well, what's Betstamp?
Future Russell, tell him.
Betstamp is the best free sports betting tool for casual bettors, sharp bettors, and everything in between. Designed to help people make more money, learn from their betting history, and gain an edge on the sports books, Betstamp helps users determine what to bet on, where to bet it, and how to track it.
Yeah, but dude, I don't even know anything about gambling, but I want to make some extra cash on basketball. So how do I do that?
Dude, don't stress, Fairy Pod Mother. Betstamp has the first ever peer-to-peer marketplace where you can buy picks from some of the best players in the industry.
Do you think you're an experienced sharp bettor? Make your picks public and sell your picks. The app ensures that each individual's pick seller's betting history is fully verified and can't be manipulated for the purposes of misleading a pick buyer. So it's super transparent. Plus, Betstamp doesn't charge a royalty, so you can keep everything you make on the market from the community. So what are you waiting for? If you want to become a sharper, more successful sports gambler, go to betstamp.app or search Betstamp on your app store.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Apex Greatness. I am your host, Russell Broderick. This way is Dario Albuquerque.
Oh, no.
You're fucking it up! The irony. This way is the fairy pot mother, Lindsay Lehman.
Hi.
I wanted to ask you, Lindsay, before you disappear, because we're going to talk about football.
Yeah.
What do you think when we do the intro? Because I know me and Dario are definitely dancing, and nobody really knows except for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta imagine it's really awkward to just see me and Dario vibe marking out to our own.
Oh, you guys can see me when I'm doing the stupid shit?
No,
only Lindsay can. It's an audience of one. It's just Lindsay, and I know I don't even have to ask Dario if he's dancing, because I know I'm over here, my stupid ass doing stupid.
Yeah, because that song just made me be like,
It gets you fired up, man. That show gets you. That song gets you fired up. If you don't like our theme music, I don't know. You don't have good taste in music, that's for sure. You don't have an electric bone in your body. I'm saying that right now, because that song gets me hyped. Give a shit. But this is Apex Greatness. We are live from the comfort of our own homes as usual.
Yes.
I wanted to say something cool, like we were live from some location, but it's just not the case. But we are talking NFL today for the first time in like, I don't know,
2 years.
at least 2 years. Yeah, it had to be 2 years. We started on this channel doing a lot of DraftKings related stuff, and
from our day one subscribers, you guys know what we're talking about.
Facts. We did a lot of DraftKings related stuff. So if you watch that, you would know that me and Dario are into basketball, and we're also very much into football.
Yeah.
And just to change it up, we thought we'd do something a little different. But it is going to be mostly a me and Dario show. Lindsay is a historic football. What do you want to call it?
I'm not enthused about it. An unenthusiastic football watcher.
An uninterested football watcher.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. I would go with
all
that.
The football I've watched has been against my own will.
So it's just like Alicia.
Exactly, yeah.
I feel like that explains not all women, but like a good percentage of girlfriends in particular.
Yeah, like 87%.
It's a joke. It's a joke on a lot of sitcoms, put it that way.
Yeah, it's definitely a joke.
Well, I appreciate you for being here. You're going to be running the boards for us. You're going to be running comments for us, telling us what comes in as we are live talking about our top picks for this Sunday slate. So,
on that note, bye.
Yeah, deuces.
Peace out, my friend.
See you in
the but never forgotten.
Yeah, But let's just jump right into it. I always like to start these just like, head first. What do you give me one of your top picks? We're probably going to do 5 each, 5 or 6 each. Like,
you want me to give you like my guaranteed?
Give me your favorite. Give me the one. Yeah, give me the one you think is your favorite. I don't know if I have a favorite, but if you have one, tell me.
All right, so I'm going my homeboy over 301.5 yards. And that's going, I think that's in Bet Rivers, maybe.
I'll get it right now. Pat Mahomes.
And I found some really good ones that sorry. Like my more favorite one is Mahomes over 2.5 touchdown passes. And that's because in Bet Rivers, they have it as a plus 166, where all the other sports books had it as a negative.
Yeah. Where is...
Did I say 166? I meant 116. Sorry.
Yeah, it's up to 118. Now it's up to 118
now. Yeah. Definitely do that.
Even better.
That's a lot. You're going to make a lot of money off of that one.
He's like, I promise. I guarantee. Well, talk to me about that, though. This is obviously your team. Anybody who's been a long fan of our show knows Dario's got 2 teams. He's got the Lakers and he's got the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So talk to me about this.
For one, Jaguars have been playing like dog shit these last couple weeks, right? And then you got Mahomes. My homeboy has been, pretty hot, and I just don't see them stopping him from getting 300 yards and more than 3 touchdowns. I think they're putting up 50 on them. I'm not even joking. Like, everybody thinks I'm going crazy. They're scoring 51 points on the Jaguars.
Let's do week 4. I like that. Since week 4, the Jaguars are better than the Chiefs at giving up passing yards. But from a touchdown perspective, because the Chiefs are one of the worst in the league, this is what I'm thinking. I like your bet, but it doesn't come with the Chiefs destroying the Jaguars, who have been competitive in a few games this year with teams you wouldn't expect. Like, they don't, they had that weird. Didn't they blow out the Colts earlier when the Colts still cared about football? Like,
the Jaguars, Colts have been bad for like a very long time. I'm
just saying, like the Jaguars.
But to me, games like that though, the division rivalries, like, to me, those are anomalies. Like, those usually you can't compare them to like a normal game like this. Like, I feel like whenever you use just like everybody probably had Atlanta winning yesterday against the Panthers.
Oh,
And
don't even get me
because
started with that.
Yeah, and they've just been playing better over the last over the season. The Atlanta has been better than the Panthers, but the division rivalries, anything happens. The Panthers just blew out Atlanta. I would have at minimum thought it was going to be a
that was kind of wild.
Yeah,
that was upsetting. I feel like I speak for every single person that played Cordell Patterson fantasy and took, all the beautiful Cordell Patterson props that were available yesterday. When I say, holy shit, was that game fucking awful.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Every time you send me one of those picks when it has somebody on your fantasy team, I'm just like, you always over.
No, but that guy's got touchdowns. He had touchdowns in almost every game he played.
Yeah,
there was logic behind my picks.
Yeah. Well, what was the only pick that I didn't like out of the group? It was the yards for me. Like I thought he would get a touchdown. I didn't expect the yards though, and
that was a process error on my part because I should have known better. I play the Jaguars defense a lot in daily fantasy, and I played the Jaguars defense.
You meant
Panthers. Like I know better. I know their defense isn't as bad as their team might suggest. I should know better.
You mean Panthers, right?
Yeah, I'm saying the Panthers defense. I've played them.
Oh, you said Jaguars a couple times. That's why.
Oh, I did. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I meant the Panthers defense versus the Falcons last night. I should have known that was going to be a tighter game than what or at least for the Panthers than what it was. But I feel like the game has to be close in order for Pat to get the 3 touchdowns. In my opinion.
So what makes you feel that way? Because I don't think the Chiefs operate in that mindset ever. I think even when they're up, they still throw. Like they've always been like that. Even when they're up, they still throw. They don't care. Andy Reid is like fuck the run. Most of the time.
No. Historically, Andy Reid has always done that. Like he's had good star running backs, but they always have to have the dynamic threat of catching the ball. Like they have to.
Yep.
But I don't know. I have a weird. I could see this game going under. Honestly, I really could. I don't see the Chiefs losing at all.
What's the over-under?
50.5.
Oh, the Chiefs are gonna do that on their own.
Yeah, I don't think.
I'm telling you. All right. At minimum, I swear to you guys, you can literally come to me, comment section, whatever. You can even at me. I don't give a shit. The Chiefs are at minimum scoring 30 points on them. At minimum.
I didn't say that they weren't going to score 30, but I am saying that I don't think they're scoring 50, number one. I don't think I don't know.
Do you have them scoring 30?
I feel like what's Trevor Lawrence's numbers? This is really what it comes down to.
Do you have the Chiefs scoring 30 at least? Because they almost average 30.
Depends on the weather, honestly. I don't know what the weather is.
Weather 100%. If it's raining, obviously it's going to change a lot of things. But
I just know that near me in New York, weather's been bad the last few days.
Yeah, but this is a completely. This is like.
No, I'm just no, but all I'm thinking about going into this weekend because I know that historically for my picks, weather has fucked me over. Weather and health are the two things that are very hard to predict. It's more likely to snow than
rain in Kansas City, to be honest.
True, but Trevor Lawrence, I would go 250 as I don't know. That's a tough number for me. What has he been doing
against one of the worst pass defense?
I want to see what he has been. I want to see what he's been doing. He could be, I could be wrong about this, but I feel like he's 230. Like he's been bad the last few weeks. He had and then he's got one spike 310 game.
But the defenses he's faced have been like the better defenses. Like
Indy's
not a bad defense.
Raiders are not great, but to your point, to your point, Kansas City's defense is not good.
Yeah, and he still put up 230 yards against the Raiders. I think the Raiders defense is comparable. We're probably a little bit better in terms of pass rush and stuff sometimes, but
and it's in Arrowhead. Arrowhead's a scary place to play.
Yeah, we're about to put them in a whole freaking like Trevor Lawrence is gonna have nightmares.
I think 250 is a tough number, personally.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet. I wouldn't bet.
Is a tough number.
I'm betting on my homeboy only. I'm not even touching what they do. I don't even know. But one thing that I also promise is that spread's 10.5, 9. I'd say Chiefs are good for that. We gonna blow them out. We beating the shit down their leg.
You think they're
shit? You're gonna see a lot of poop stains all over there.
So you would take
better not have
you would take this. You would take these two as singles, or you'd take them as a parlay.
No, the only thing I'm 100% sure on is my homeboy over 301.5 passing yards for negative 114 at Bet Rivers. Thank you, Betstamp, for having it all laid out for me so I could get the best bet. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't even think you have the right up-to-date bet. Let me get it.
Oh, I did it yesterday. Oh, maybe not. Sorry, it's
it changes every 5 seconds.
That's BetGM. Why don't you just put it for New York only so then it doesn't show
minus 114? Because I like to have them all. I like to have them all. They're all available. It makes life easier, especially when we're doing this in the future and certain places don't give us props.
Yeah. And then
that's the real reason I have them all up, is because I want to be able to have all the props we can.
Yeah. So
Bet Rivers is minus 114.
See, I was right.
303.5 passing yards.
I need an apology. All right, but and don't forget to use that Apex code when you
that's important. Don't forget, if you're going to sign up to Betstamp, number one, follow the Apex account. We're gonna have bets all the time.
Yeah.
They may be on the show, they may not. But when you sign up for Betstamp, use the code APEX. It's completely free. APEX.
Yeah. And we look, we're bringing you entertainment every week, at least 2-3 times a week. And we're bringing you money. We're bringing you money. Come on.
This is a desperate attempt.
What other podcasts do this for you? Besides one of those like Rich Dad, Poor Dad podcasts that start telling you all that, reading you the book and shit. No, we're not doing all that.
That's what I call it. The Rich Dad, Poor Dad podcast.
Yeah, that's what
they should call it.
That's a book. You know that?
It's a book?
Yeah, it's a book.
Never heard of it.
A very famous book. Look it up.
Never heard of it. That
really changed your life. I'm not even joking.
I do betting. Reading is difficult. Anyways, I'm going to go. So I feel like the Giants, although them being a team from New York, I have like a natural negative bias towards them. I think they've played amazing football lately. And I think the biggest reason is I really think they've played like quality football. I really do believe that.
I think they have a great record. Been very good at like playing the game at how they want to play it and forcing the tempo to be just straight up a defense and running. Defense and running.
So this is right where I'm getting to. They have a formula and they have an identity, and that's really important in all sports. But they are going against the worst team against running backs in the league, the Houston Texans, who they just love giving up copious amounts of yards. Since week 4, over 150 yards per game given up on the ground. Almost 2 touchdowns a game.
How good are they against the pass?
So that's the thing. Versus the pass, they are infinitely better. They're not amazing, but they're definitely better. Look.
Yeah.
No, they're infinitely better. I take it back. Almost top 5 in the league against the pass from a fantasy standpoint.
Yeah. But it also could be because they suck so much against the run that they're just like, why pass it if we could just run?
But their defense feeds right into a guy like Saquon Barkley, who there's no universe for me where he doesn't get 100 yards. Like, I went to look at this last night, and I was like, literally anything that it says rushing yards under 100, 93.5, boom. But let's look around a little bit. 91.5.
I was going to say. Yep.
I think that's Barstool Sportsbook. 91.5. There's a couple of 91.5s here. I'm taking that shit.
Yeah, 100%. Take it at the best. Yeah.
91.5, and I definitely think he's good for a touchdown as well. Like, I'm pretty fucking positive of it. I feel really confident about it.
Yeah. They have him as plus. What was that? That might be first touchdown score.
Yeah.
because it's showing like plus 480. There's no way that Saquon's plus 480. That's a touchdown reception. That's why. Gotcha.
I was trying to get to that. I had something on my screen in the way. I'm sorry. Fucking.
No,
minus 120 is the best odds. Is the best odds for that. I'm taking that. But even what was 2 touchdowns? What was to get 2 touchdowns? Like, I'm not saying definitely bet this, but I think that he's got as good of odds as anybody on the week to have a 2 touchdown game.
Yeah, I feel like that's just dangerous though. Like when you bet.
Oh, it's dangerous. Like, I'm not denying it, but the stats are on his side to get 2 touchdowns. And especially if it's 2 anytime touchdowns, that's something that he does pretty regular. Like he's got a couple of games this year where he has at least 2 touchdowns. Like there are. Oh, I was the wrong thing.
Yeah, I was like,
the wrong thing. I'm sorry.
Oh, it looked like the
wrong thing. That was just straight up scoring. He has no games where he has 2 touchdowns, but this could be the week. I'm completely serious. I stand by it. This could seriously be the week. Derrick Henry annihilated them. Miles Sanders annihilated them. You name it. Good running backs have murdered this Houston Texans team. So I think it's completely possible. But I think he's absolutely getting 100 yards this week. That is my number 1 pick for Sunday. Like 100%. I feel like that's too low. They should have made that like 110 yards to make it interesting.
Yeah. What's the Texans? I'm actually gonna bet that this week. Just got offer you a nice little soliloquy. I appreciate that, my friend.
That's what I'm here for.
So
he's gonna be Chalkzilla on DraftKings if you're into that.
Yeah. What's the Texans record? Because I feel like all right,
Houston's dog shit. They're 1-6-1.
Yeah,
they've been in close games because they've been good against the pass. But as soon as they give up leads, it's over. Like it's just over. They can't. I'm saying, can't stop
if they're like slow walking you to a touchdown, and then you just can't because their offense isn't they're decent, but not like enough to get you out of.
Damian Pierce has been a revelation for fantasy football guys like me and you.
Thank you. Yes,
but I don't know how, honestly, because you'd think a team that's down all the time would not run the ball.
Yeah, they have to.
But them also a lot like the Atlanta Falcons usually just constantly run the ball no matter where they are in terms of score. It's kind of insane, but
so can I?
But yeah, I don't know. I love Saquon this week.
Can I give you my riskier pick of the week?
You have the floor, my friend. Go ahead.
All right, I got Seattle plus 2.5.
You think they're gonna beat the Bucks?
Nope. I just think that no matter what, it's gonna be a close game, and I think
but 2.5 is too close for me, in my opinion. I'm just spitballing.
No,
I think 2.5 is too close.
I think that Seattle's defense is good enough to stall out shitty Brady right now. Even though I'm playing him in fantasy this week. Oh, I'm sorry, but then I know it just sucks. I have to pick between him and Dak, so pick which shittier person I want to go. All right, and then. We got I think Seattle's offense is actually like competitive enough to make it a thing, and I think he's gonna be putting Brady on the ropes. And I also feel like Brady could throw an interception. I think I also have Brady throwing for over 279.5 yards.
Okay, so hold on.
Negative 114. And that is at which sports book did I use? I used Bet Rivers. Bet Rivers is my homies though. But I'm paying with
they come out with that shit.
Yeah, they give you that fire because no one knows. They like Bet Rivers who? We don't know you host. So then they just give you the good. They be like, yeah, here you go, more money coming on sports book.
So repeat that. So you want Tom Brady 279 and a half,
and Tom Brady over 0.5 interceptions because he's throwing an interception against Seattle. So
there's great odds for that kind of all over the board here.
Yeah, I know. And I think I got that one. I got at MGM. Yeah,
that's it. So if you're in New York, plus 100. On FanDuel, it's plus 114. It's even better.
MGM is plus 120.
No, at least it plus 110. Yesterday. I'm looking at it. Yeah, that's you gotta stay on top of this, bruh.
Damn, I looked at it last night. That's crazy.
It changes, dude. It changes every day. That's the advantage of doing bets earlier.
That just shows
even by Sunday, this could be totally different odds.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm telling y'all. Like, even BetMGM, everybody was like, "Do this, let's go," and then they had to lower it because, you know.
But yeah, FanDuel still got pretty good odds on it, or better odds on it than BetMGM, 114. But there's a couple of good ones here. You have Sports Interaction. I think that's what that says. Plus 115. Yeah. Bet 99. I can't get into any of these sports books, but they're available.
Yeah. I just feel like
you have them, use them.
Seattle's, especially the secondary, has been playing pretty decent in terms of and I feel like they've gotten a turnover in a lot of the past few games. I can't say exactly the amount, but I remember just watching them these last couple weeks and always seeing an interception thrown. And I feel like Brady's been ass cheeks, so he's gonna be ass cheeks against this team.
Bucs defense has been pretty good in the last few weeks versus the past.
Yeah.
And who's at home? Oh no, this is the fucking Germany game, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Jesus. Okay,
even worse. Here's the Tom Brady's old ass got to take a whole flight.
I'm not trying to say. I think 44.5 is a pretty low total, but traveling across the world to play a football game, your time schedule is going to be all fucked up no matter how many days ahead you got there.
Yeah.
Like for a football game, it's going to be weird. And no NFL team has played in Germany before, to my knowledge. I don't think that's happened yet. I think this is the first time ever. I'm taking the under. Historically, these games always go under because the guys are all jet lagged and fucked up.
Yeah.
Not fucked up like drugs and alcohol, just fucked up. If there's an alternate total, I would go under 50, 100%. But I'm comfortable with the under 44.5. And I like your plus 2.5 for Seattle. If there was a +4 or +3 alternate spread, though, I would take that any day of the week, twice on Sunday, even if it was slightly less odds.
Yeah,
just because I think winning by field goal.
Negative.
You might
negative plus 2.5. I mean, plus 100 for plus 2.5. I'm sure.
Yeah, it's the plus 100 that's enticing as fuck.
Yeah.
But at that point, you might as well just take the money line plus 127.
No, but that's the thing.
You really think the Bucs are going to win by 1 or 2 points? Like that's the thing. They're either going to win by 3 or they're not going to win. Like
they just had a close ass game that they went. I think against the Rams, they just barely won by like 2 points or something. I feel like it's gonna be one of those games where Brady has to do another one of those drives if he wants to win. That's how I'm picturing it. And especially, and I know he's gonna 1,000%. He might throw 3 interceptions because I'm playing him this week, and he's that just has happened to me. Like I've had the worst luck, so I'm betting against it. Why not?
279 for Brady though is asking for a lot so far this year. He has thrown for 279.
How many attempts?
Half the time.
Yeah. Look at how many he has 250 plus attempt games.
3.
Oh, 3. I didn't even notice the 58. Yeah, so exactly 3. So he's throwing. He's gonna he has to throw. And
look at all these games. Look at all these games. They're so low scoring. Like this goes to my under.
Seattle's defense I wouldn't say isn't the greatest, especially not 100% against the pass, but they make plays. That's the thing.
Sure.
So that's why I feel like they will get an interception, but he has opportunity to throw a lot.
He's thrown 1 interception this year, has Tom Brady.
Yep. So, look, that's even better. That's why it's plus 100. Makes more sense.
Yeah, it is. That is why it's plus 100. Because he takes care of the football.
Yeah.
But let's go. Let's look at So there was one game that I think is like extremely interesting because of injuries. And it's this game against 2 powerhouses this year, Minnesota and Buffalo.
Yeah.
What is going on with Josh Allen?
He's playing.
What is the haps with Josh Allen?
He's going to play.
What? You think he's playing?
There's no way he doesn't.
I got to tell you, I love Minnesota in this game. I love Minnesota in this game. I think they've played amazing this year, and I think Buffalo, I think they're shaky right now just because of their health. I think even if Josh Allen plays, it's scary to think he's not going to be at 100%. If he's immobile in any way, shape, or form, like if he's stuck in the pocket, I think that's bad news for the Bills. I I think this over-under of 42 is laughable.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely going to go over. And I love Dalvin Cook. I think Dalvin Cook's getting in the end zone.
So the one thing about Minnesota, luckily, thank God it's not a primetime game, because if it was primetime, I would say
you're
Bills
right.
by
I know
50,
what you're going to say.
because
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins, when it's a big game, Kirk Cousins, it just gets smaller and smaller. He sucks.
Complete trash.
So luckily it's in the 1 o'clock slate, right?
Yeah.
So it gets mixed in with all the other games. No one even notices it. Just how Kirk Cousins loves it. So that's what gives you some type of. But because let's say if Josh Allen doesn't play, I'm even more scared of the Vikings winning the game, because I feel like Kirk Cousins will find the way to fail them. That's why I don't like.
Who's their backup though? Who's Buffalo's backup?
I think that's Keenum, isn't it?
If it's Case Keenum, then I'm very nervous.
Or is one of those? I thought it was Case Keenum. It might be Case Keenum.
If it's them, if it's
Case one Keenum, of those
I'm very nervous.
That they can run the ball quarterbacks, like play similar to Josh Allen.
I wouldn't describe Case Keenum as a run the ball quarterback, but
no, like he has.
Yeah, Case Keenum is the backup. Case Keenum is the backup. Yeah. A guy who got through the Minnesota Miracle, throwing to who else but Steph Diggs. That would be the ultimate revenge narrative. The ultimate revenge narrative.
Yeah.
If that played out. So if that happens, Stephon Diggs getting all the yards.
Doesn't Case Keenum run a lot of like RPOs and stuff like that? I feel like
no.
Maybe I'm bugging.
You are bugging.
He doesn't rush at all.
I mean, I feel like these are his rushing numbers. Let's see if I can get them. Advanced passing, rushing and receiving.
Yeah.
The most he's ever run for in a whole season is 160 yards.
Yeah.
He does not run. No running.
And how many attempts? Max?
40.
40, okay. And divided by, what is that? What are you talking about? Go back to that?
Divided by games started, 14 games.
14, okay, that makes sense. Okay.
He does not run the football. He's not a runner. Who runs.
I don't know why I thought.
But he did. He did take part in the Minneapolis Miracle with Steph Diggs, who are on the opposite team, which is kind of interesting if you like revenge narratives.
No, well,
they don't have Diggs' passing yards out.
Well, Case Keenum and Diggs are on the same team.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, so you're saying they'll get revenge on Minnesota?
Yes.
I don't even like that.
Because Diggs doesn't. Diggs. What do you mean you don't like it?
Don't.
Case Keenum could have been their quarterback, right? But Minnesota said, "Nah, fuck you, piss off, go to Denver."
Yeah,
and then
as they should.
And then Diggs was mad, and they traded Diggs away. And revenge. I think it would be the ultimate revenge because Case and Diggs are cool. They were boys. They've been boys for a while. I don't know. I think it's a legitimate revenge narrative. Don't shit on my narratives.
No, you got it. Don't worry about it. All right. Do you have anything else on that game?
I said Dalvin Cook touchdown. I said the over. I said Minnesota to win. I would take that in a parlay.
So why don't you? All right. So now I gotta ask, why don't you have any bets with Steph Diggs? If you feel like it's gonna be a revenge?
Because I just thought about all that in the moment. We're live.
Okay. All right.
Thought about all that.
I mean, I'm thinking that you had this whole narrative set up. My bad.
No, I didn't.
As you guys
literally,
know,
as soon as I realized it, I didn't even know it was Case Keenum until you told me. I didn't even put it together. But as soon as I put it together, I was like, "Oh!" All the numbers started connecting
either way,
in my brain.
if Josh Allen is playing, I would assume for Diggs to have a big game then, because he's mostly
but his passing yards aren't out yet. I agree with you. But his passing yards aren't out yet. I don't want to pick him for a straight up score. Like, I think Dalvin Cook's definitely going to get in the end zone.
What about Diggs' yards? Like,
it's not available yet. So I just said it's not available yet.
Oh, because it's Monday. Wait, what game is? No,
it's not Monday. It's Friday. Today is Friday. The game goes on Sunday at 1 o'clock. It's just not available.
The game was a Monday game for a sec.
No. It's just not available. We can't control that.
Oh, that's weird. I don't know. All right.
It happens.
So it's
because Josh Allen's health greatly determines Steph Diggs' yards in terms of the sports books.
Sure.
That's the reason. But I would take this in a parlay. Dalvin Cook getting a touchdown, the over for 42.5 and Minnesota. I would take that as a parlay. It's plus 852 odds. I feel really good about that. Like,
yeah,
I like that a lot.
Scary for the Minnesota part.
That's okay. I'm not soft. I'll be the not soft one on the show.
When Bills win by 15, I'm just gonna text you, but like, yeah, you see.
Let's go, Sharman. Next up, you're
Who's
up.
Sharman?
You, because you're soft as fucking Sharman tissue.
Okay. So that this is the last bet that I have. I got Justin Fields in the Detroit Chicago game going over 240.5 passing plus rushing yards.
Interesting.
So I think Detroit has one of the worst defenses in the league. So I feel like he should be able to throw against them, and he's gonna run no matter what. So I feel like alone he should be able to get at least 200 passing yards. And if he needs 40.5 rushing yards, Justin Fields has been a complete monster. In terms of fantasy football, he's been godly the last 3 weeks. And I'm
but we need to let's look into that. I'm very excited you brought this up. I wasn't expecting you to, but I'm really glad you did.
Thank you. I try everyone.
Because
I'm here for.
Because I think this is a fucking horrible pick, but I'm really fascinated because he broke the all-time record for a regular season rush yards by a quarterback. That happened last week. Broke the all-time record, 178 yards, right? So, historically, DraftKings, or not DraftKings, but the sports books, right? They're going to put it probably the highest the over-under's been all year. Because not only did he just have his career high, but he's going against the Detroit Lions, who have had the worst defense in football so far this year. But there's one little caveat to that. Who did the Detroit Lions play last week?
I don't remember.
And everybody and their mother thought they were going to get the shit kicked out of them.
Oh, it wasn't in Green Bay?
Yeah, it was Green Bay. And Aaron Rodgers threw 3 interceptions.
I was about to say, who thought that they were going to get the shit kicked out of them, though? How would you?
A lot of people thought this was Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay offense's game to beat shit down Detroit's leg, and this is going to be an ultimate shootout extravaganza.
That's crazy. How would you think that with Green Bay's been so bad this year? It's like that's just straight up going on laurels.
But yes, Green Bay's been bad this year. My point is, Detroit had amazing plays to make those interceptions. Like, if you watch some of them and some of the defense they were playing, Aaron Rodgers was throwing bombs down the field, almost touching guys' hands, and then the Detroit guys, one hand touching in the sky, tipping that shit down.
Yeah.
I think it's a scary pick. I think it's a scary pick, personally, to take what do you call it? To take Fields this week. Because for the most part,
but I don't think that's asking him to do something crazy though. To get 200. So it's pretty much you have to get 241 yards in total between rushing and passing.
So I'm looking at it right now. He's done that. I'm just trying to get a good read on that.
So you got a good amount. Yeah, so he's done it 1, 2, 3.
You're better. You're better and faster at math than I am. So help me.
3, 4 times out. So about half. What? How many games has he played? 8, whatever. 4. Yeah.
Yep.
So or 9 games, whatever. So he's done it 4 times, and you're going against the worst defense in the league, or one of the worst.
For now, the worst defense in the league. But I'm just saying, if you set this up right, like if you look at their total defense, the Lions' total defense over the last month, it's not the worst in football. I think that's my point. I think that the Lions defense being the worst in the league right now is a little bit of what do you call it? Because see, they're ranked super low, but they've played better. I don't know. Maybe I'm losing my mind. Maybe my eyes are deceiving me. Wouldn't be the first time.
Well, how many weeks back are you looking? You looking at the last?
I'm going from week 5 to now. The Lions are still bottom 10, but they're not the very bottom as they were. Because they got out of those shootouts. What killed them was those 48-45 games against Seattle and shit like that.
Is that the total defense or pass defense, run defense? What we're looking
This is
at?
their total defense. This is total defense.
Yeah.
In terms of just fantasy points allowed,
and
obviously
so
we're not talking fantasy, but it's a good look at overall metrics for how many yards you're giving.
The only thing with that too is especially if you're comparing it to the game they just had against Green Bay, they're playing a completely different like style of offense.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, and where they're rushing way more.
Yep.
And they have a good rushing attack, I think, especially against
they do.
Detroit. So and then having a pick between Fields and Montgomery or Herbert like is definitely I feel like they're gonna attack it completely different than how Green Bay attacked it. They're not gonna throw as much. But either way, all Fields has to really do is throw, let's say 170 yards and get 80 rushing yards. Like that's the way. That's why I like it, because I feel like he's gonna get he has a decent floor at the rush, maybe at 50, 60 yards, and then he could get you the rest through throwing against one of the worst defenses in the league, in my opinion.
So to your point about rushing, I was thinking about this as you were talking. The Bears have one of the worst rush defenses in all football against running backs. They allowed over 100 yards a game over the last 4 weeks, excuse me. And Detroit's got some serious fucking running backs. Yeah. Between Swift and Jamal Williams, I have Jamal Williams touchdown odds up right here. He's got more touchdowns than anybody in football right now this year. I'm pretty sure that's still the case. I could be wrong, but I'll double check that. But I'm pretty sure that what do you call it? Pretty sure this guy has the league lead in total touchdowns. I'm pretty sure it's still the case. And he's got plus odds to get a touchdown. And on most sites, there's a couple of sites, DraftKings and FanDuel, being smart. But on most sites, like this is plus 127 for him to get in the end zone. I like that. Until proven wrong, I feel comfortable taking those odds. I just think it's a bad week to pick. Like, I think the sports books are going to overplay Fields. Like, I feel like before this week, you could have gotten a lower number than what you're going to get this week.
I feel like if we're talking like, and that's why I didn't want to do just passing or just rushing. I felt like the mix made it more viable, because he's like, let's say if he has a shitty rushing game, he still could have a really good passing game against the Detroit. So that's why I didn't want to just do it based off one or the other. I thought the mix made it more likely that he would do it.
Yeah, I get what I definitely I would have picked passing and rushing over any of the other choices.
Yeah,
I think it would have been harder. I was looking at rushing attempts because I saw this basically he's got to get 10 attempts, and he's done that a lot recently, but he's got about half the time. It's not super safe.
Yeah.
But all right, where am I going? Pass and rush. All right, I have two more.
Oh.
But I have a couple from one game, so I'll save that for the end. Christian McCaffrey is fucking great. I talked a lot of shit about him for a lot of years. Because I just think that I just thought that he was incredibly overrated on that Panthers team that wasn't really doing anything. And I don't know. My eyes have been open to him this year, where, especially now that he's in San Francisco, my personal favorite team when it comes to scheming for running backs. I've said this for years. From a fantasy standpoint, it doesn't matter what the name on the back of the jersey is. As long as they play for San Francisco and they're a running back, they're going to get fantasy points. They're going to accrue yards. Like, it was a foolproof formula, and now they have one of the three best running backs in football. I'd still take Derrick Henry over Christian McCaffrey, but after that, the list gets pretty small. But Christian McCaffrey's rushing yards, I think I got to double check because it might be different from the last time I looked at it. But yeah, it's still 75 yards rushing. I think that's an absolute smash. Chargers, suck against running backs. Suck. Just like here with the Texans. Suck hot ass against running backs. Over 160 yards rushing allowed. Very similar numbers to this Texans team I was talking shit about earlier. And McCaffrey is
so happy about my fantasy team right now. I hope you're right, man. I just hope you're right because I've been doing so horrible.
75 yards is not something that he's crossed. Oh, this is receiving. Excuse me. 75 yards is something he's crossed half the time from a rushing standpoint.
Yeah.
And I just see it very much happening against this team. I think that his total rushing and receiving is kind of high, but pretty doable. 115.5 is incredibly doable.
Yeah.
But I think he's just going to run all over.
Is Debo playing?
I don't know the answer to that. He's got receiving yards props. So
I know he was injured.
Go Samuel availability. Let's see. Did he play?
I think he is. He is playing. I think
Chargers status.
He had a full practice on Wednesday, so he's good.
Yeah, so he's in. So I still would take Christian McCaffrey to do I don't know. Rushing, like I said, rushing receiving is kind of high, but I really think he's getting 100 rushing yards. He's done it this year. He's got the capability to do it. I really think he's going to do it.
Yeah.
And I love that. And that's the main thing I like. I wish I could feel comfortable with the over in this game because Justin Herbert should be playing well enough to justify hitting this over, but I don't know, man. I'm very down on him.
Keenan Allen is out, right? And then he doesn't have much.
Their whole wide receiver core is out.
Yeah,
their whole wide receiver core
is only Palmer, right? That's the only
yeah.
This is
and I think maybe DeAndre Carter.
Yeah,
but also probably hurt.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's tough for me to pick anything else really. And then the other one I got, I have a couple from this game. I think this isn't a smash for the over. I really think this is a smash for the over between Cleveland and Miami. Two offenses that have point scoring potential. Put it that way. Cleveland's been pretty damn good for the most part keeping up with teams. I want to go to their schedule and make sure I'm not talking out of my ass here. But my impression of it, I
feel like their offense had a lot of people expected them to have no offense at all, and I feel like they definitely have been putting up points.
Yeah, for most of these they put up 20-point performances.
Yeah,
the majority of their over 20 points. They're putting up numbers. They're holding their own against most teams, and I love the over, and I love Amari Cooper's numbers.
Yo, you're making me so happy. He's just talking about.
I love
guys. That's why I don't trust it.
You're just fucking skeptical.
Well, I mean, I've just had a miserable season so far. So I'm you talking about my players doing well? Probably not gonna happen.
All right. Well, what about Nick Chubb? He's not on your team, I don't think.
Yeah, he's not. I got Kareem Hunt, so most likely Nick Chubb goes for 150 yards, 3 touchdowns.
So Nick Chubb's over under now is 78 or 78.5. Excuse me, 77.5 in some places.
Yeah.
Let's see how low we can go. Yeah, it looks like 77.5. I like that. I like Nick Chubb to get the yards.
I think he could definitely do it.
Could get in the end zone, but the guy I think is absolutely scoring today is Tyreek Hill, the peace god. I think he's definitely deucing his way into the end zone.
I bet a touchdown is going to be plus odds for him because he hasn't really scored that much this year. He's been more so.
But when he has scored, hasn't he scored multiple times?
I'm not sure, but I know that he's been the yards guy, and then Waddle has been getting a lot of the touchdowns.
The touchdowns, yeah. What is his wads? What is his yards total? What the fuck am I saying?
Yeah, I bet it's gonna be like 100 yards or something. Yep.
92.5.
Yeah. He's averaging like 120 something yards a game. Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing real well. Yeah, I was looking at that. He's gotten that over half the games he's played so far.
Yeah. And it's insane. Like, he's just going crazy.
I still think he gets in the end zone. I think he finds his way in the end zone.
I'm not saying he can't. I'm saying that
I get what you're
taking
saying.
Advantage of those odds.
I really feel strongly about it. I really think this game's going to be a shootout.
Yeah.
I don't epic proportions.
So what makes you feel like he's going to get in the end zone this week?
I like if I can go back to my lineups deal. I just feel like whenever, and I called it when it happened in this Baltimore game and in the Chicago game. I remember these pretty vividly. They're weeks apart, but I remembered it vividly. I was like, there were moments in the game where the Dolphins were down, and it was down by enough where I was like, if they don't throw a bomb to Tyreek within the next 5 minutes, that's what you have them for. And I feel like it's going to be one of those games. I really do. I feel like it's going to be one of those games where
if Miami's down like that and against freaking Cleveland, they need to figure shit out.
What do you mean? Cleveland's held their own against a lot of good teams this year. Like,
I feel that, but I think Miami is like one of the better teams in the league this year.
I don't know. I think they're pretenders until further notice.
I mean, we'll see. That. I don't think that they could win the championship,
but yeah, Cleveland is right middle of the pack against wide receivers, and I don't know. I really like that matchup. I just think it's going to go both. I think it's going to go back and forth, weather permitting. I think it's going to go back and forth. Like, I always have to say that because I'll turn around, it'll be rainy as fuck, and then all my picks are ruined. This happens more than I'd like to give it credit for.
Yeah.
But that is the main. Those were the main picks that I had. I got through all my shit. You got it? You got anything else?
I got through all of mine.
Got through all of them?
Yeah.
All right. I just want to see if there's anything else I wanted to. Why is this game a marquee game? These two 4 o'clock games are like, ooh, check out the Rams versus the Cardinals. Nobody wants to watch that terrible Kyler Murray offense.
Yeah.
And then nobody wants to watch Aaron Rodgers throw for more interceptions.
Yeah.
Fucking, I don't get it. Mix it up, NFL. Do it on a week-by-week basis. Set your schedule weekly. But no. This has been another live edition of Apex Greatness. I'm your host, Russell Broderick. That way is Dario Albuquerque. Be sure, this way is Lindsay Lehman. Be sure to check out Betstamp.com or Betstamp.app, excuse me. Betstamp.app to check out our picks. And if you don't have an account, use the code APEX when you make your account to let them know that we sent you, because it helps us out and the podcast a great deal. That's my pitch. Thank you very much. But we are saying peace. Deuces, guys.
Hey guys, if you like what you heard, be sure to check out our YouTube channel. Just type in Apex Greatness on YouTube to see everything we put out this year. From legacy breakdowns to current NBA and NFL content. We have over 150 videos to binge if you're that type of person, or just to listen to in your spare time. We have about 2 to 5 hours of new content every week. Check us out. Later.